Thank you, Steph. Advanced polling opens today to fill vacancies for 2 Toronto area ridings whose MPs have both quit. York Centre voters will be choosing their replacement for Michael Levitt, who stepped down for personal reasons, while in Toronto Centre, residents there voting for a successor to former Finance Minister Bill Morneau, who left office in the midst of the We Charity scandal. As always, you're going to need your voter card or valid proof of name and address in order to cast your ballot. And we're going to bring you to a live look at one of those advanced polling stations. This is the Church of St. Peter and St. Simon the Apostle on Bloor East. This will be the first by-election since the start of the COVID pandemic, and health and safety measures will be in place. All right, drivers should also take note of some potentially disruptive road closures happening this weekend. We should flag for you the Allen. So maintenance on the Allen starting tonight at 11 o'clock. It is going to run through Monday morning at 5 a.m. So this closure will extend the entire length of the roadway from Shepherd to Eglinton. It's the first time since 2018 that the Allen has undergone maintenance. Also keep in mind, even more construction happening this weekend. This is a live look near the Gardiner. This is before partial closures begin tomorrow morning. Keep this in mind, eastbound from Yonge to Cherry, that's going to be down to 1 lane. Along the lakeshore, also a partial intersection closure at Sherbourne. The area reduced to just a couple lanes both directions. It is going to be very busy, so this is your heads up here. That traffic nightmare will end at 6 p.m. Sunday. Steph will bring you more coming up in traffic. Well, it took 36 years, but the killer of 9-year-old Christine Jessup has been identified.
October 9th, 2020, we positively confirmed the identification of the person responsible for the DNA sample found on Christine's underwear. Calvin Hoover of Toronto, Ontario, was 28 years old in 1984. He was known to the Jessup family at the time of Christine's disappearance. He died in 2015.
Jessup went missing from Queensville in October 1984. Her body was found in Durham Region 3 months later. Yesterday, Toronto police naming Calvin Hoover, a neighbor and acquaintance of the Jessups, as her killer. He was identified through cutting-edge technology. DNA evidence was matched to a family through genetic genealogy tracing. Then police were able to finally confirm a match to Hoover. The identification coming 25 years after the exoneration of Guy Paul Morin, the neighbor of the Jessups, who was wrongly convicted of the 9-year-old's murder. The lawyer for Morin says they hope the identification of the killer will bring peace to the Jessup family.
At long last. That was my reaction. It's going to give a little bit of peace of mind, we hope, to Janet Jessup, Christine's mother, and other members of the family. 36-year ordeal that they've been through.
In a statement, Guy Paul Morin says he is relieved for the Jessup family and grateful the police have finally solved this case. Authorities say there are still several questions that need to be answered and are looking to the public for any information on Calvin Hoover. They are also hoping to create a timeline of his whereabouts leading up to the murder. Both presidential candidates taken to the airwaves last night, dueling in separate town halls in lieu of a canceled debate. Trump defending his coronavirus response despite the deaths of over 215,000 people in the U.S.
I knew it was a big threat. At the same time, I don't want to panic this country. I don't want to go out and say everybody's going to die.
Isn't there a middle ground? You don't have to mislead, but you can.
No, there's not a middle ground.
The controversial town hall went forward even after some 100 high-profile celebrities demanded NBC move that event because it was at the same time as Joe Biden's town hall on a separate channel. Now, the president took some tough questions, acknowledged that he may owe $400 million, but it's unclear to who. The second presidential debate had been scheduled for last night. It was canceled after Trump refused to take part virtually. Meanwhile, Democratic nominee Joe Biden faced some tough questions in a separate event, and he told voters how he would have reacted to the pandemic.
From March on, I stopped doing big meetings. I started wearing masks. So it was at a time when the science was saying, and his key people, Dr. Fauci, were saying, you should be taking these precautions. So what we should be doing now, there should be a national standard. You can open businesses and schools if, in fact, you provide them the guidance that they need, as well as the money to be able to do it.
Biden continued to say that when a COVID-19 vaccine comes out, he would encourage citizens to get it if it's been thoroughly tested. The Democratic nominee also spoke about allocating $70 billion to historically black colleges and universities. However, Biden still remains unclear about court packing, saying he will give a clear answer before the November 3rd election. All right, we've got a lot to cover here this Friday morning. At 7:30, we're going to break down last night's town hall, and we're going to look ahead to what is next in this presidential race with a former journalist from the New York Times. And tomorrow, marking 2 years since cannabis officially became legal in Canada. So coming up here at 6:30, a look at the highs and lows and the challenges moving forward for the industry. And coming up next in business, Mike Epple, he is back, and today's the day pre-orders being accepted for Apple's newest phone, the i12. We'll be right back.